Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Members of the Erie community in Perry County are planning a meeting tonight after the E.O. Robinson Mountain Fund announced yesterday they would have to demolish some of the property at the historic Home Place Community Center. It was an area hit hard by flooding 3 weeks ago. WIMT's Chandler Wilcox tells us about the sentimental value that could be on the line.
Home Place is the perfect name for this community center in Erie. Every generation in the area has a story about Home Place, starting with the log cabin you see behind me. Now, since the floodwaters have hit, memories could be in trouble. Community members in Erie are planning a meeting at 7 p.m. tonight in hopes of saving the buildings they love. They are especially hoping to save the log cabin where Home Place started and gave the community a safe harbor from life's troubles. Now, WYMT reached out to the directors of Home Place for a comment, but they denied, referring to their announcement yesterday saying they're trying to make the safest decision for the public and they will rebuild at another location. In Erie, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, we will have more on the community's reaction from that announcement tonight at 11 o'clock. A longtime Eastern Kentucky congressman says a long-term solution to flooding in the region is needed. 5th District Representative Hal Rogers says a solution to severe flooding along the Cumberland River was found decades ago and questions if something similar could prevent more catastrophic flooding like what we saw 3 weeks ago along the Kentucky, Big Sandy, and Licking rivers.
So I think we have to plan for the future, and I'm already in touch with the Corps of Engineers to talk about what could we do on the Kentucky River especially.
Rogers says people need to keep in mind that the Kentucky River is much different than the Cumberland, with smaller, sharper, and deeper valleys. He says the Corps of Engineers could provide the analysis for that area and along creeks and streams if he can get money appropriated for a study.
Looking outside this evening at rather dry conditions around the mountains. It's been a rather nice day and a wonderful evening on tap. Outside at the moment from our front door here at WYMT, low 80s with just a few of those fair weather clouds out there. They're trying to build up, but with high pressure in place, they're not making it very far vertically. Temperatures out there, upper 70s, low 80s around the mountains. We're up at 82 now here in Hazard. Same thing Williamsburg, Jacksboro, 83 Monticello and Middlesboro, and how about 84 in Jonesville, the warm spot in the region. Dew points, low to mid 60s, so you do feel the mugginess outside, but it's not overwhelming, at least not yet. All dry around the region, just some ground clutter there right outside the area as you head up into the Kentucky River Valley up toward the Mountain Parkway there in parts of Clark County, but that's about it. Satellite and radar in motion. Had a few clouds out toward Pike County earlier today, but those have long since moved out, and we're all quiet as we head into the evening. So keep that First Alert weather app handy. Looking pretty nice out there. Into the upper 70s this evening, down into the 60s overnight, and we'll be back to the potential for a few showers. Not necessarily tomorrow morning, but as we head into tomorrow evening, that's something we have to watch because kickoff is just about 24 hours away, or just a little more than 24 hours away. I'll have those details coming up in just a little bit. Steve?
Evan, thank you. Monkeypox cases are on the rise around the country. The states with the most are in New York and California. CBS's Natalie Brand is at the White House with the latest numbers and what the Biden administration is doing to get vaccines to the most vulnerable communities.
Hundreds of people lined up for the monkeypox vaccine at this New Jersey clinic.
Really scary looking, you know, and I couldn't even imagine being able to go to work if that happened to me.
The vaccination site runs out of doses every day, but the White House monkeypox response coordinator says more supply is on the way, announcing 1.8 million doses will be available for ordering starting Monday.
Jurisdictions that are adopting the intradermal administration of vaccine and have used 90% of their current supply of vaccines will be able to order more doses.
In order to stretch supply, the FDA has approved splitting each vial of vaccine into 5 doses to be injected just under the skin. The CDC now reports more than 13,500 confirmed cases nationwide, with New York and California topping the list of states with most cases. 98% of the cases are occurring in men with a median age of 35. In an effort to reach those most at risk, the White House announced a new pilot program aimed at distributing vaccines at large gatherings geared towards the LGBTQ community. But the CDC director is also urging everyone to take steps to avoid risk of exposure during this outbreak.
Temporarily reducing or avoiding behaviors that increase your risk of monkeypox exposure is important, especially between your first and second doses of vaccine.
I know it's going to spread like wildfire, and it's good that we get protected sooner than later.
Health officials also say next week they will boost the supply of a drug that can be used to treat monkeypox infections, making 50,000 courses of T-pox available where outbreaks are most severe.
Monkeypox symptoms can include fever, body aches, and skin outbreaks. No one in the U.S. has died of the disease. The CDC reports 17 cases of monkeypox have been identified in Kentucky. The Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services reports the distribution of the monkeypox vaccine remains low in the Commonwealth due to the low number of cases. The cabinet posted the number of a toll-free monkeypox hotline where folks can receive answers to general questions. That number is 844-520-6670. A Southern Kentucky hospital is loosening more COVID-19 requirements. Previously, and for the past 2 years or so, if you had an elective surgery or procedure done, you had to get a COVID-19 test first. Now only those admitted to the hospital have to get tests at Baptist Health Corbin. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on the changes.
The patient load at Baptist Health Corbin is stable right now, if that's even the right word to describe things during a pandemic.
Currently, we're around 20. We're between 15 and 20 COVID patients a day. We are seeing less of them requiring ICU care.
Earlier this year, the hospital was surging with more than 70 patients a day. With the new variant's impact yet to be seen, doctors are fearing the worst.
Dramatically more worried about what's going to happen here.
He says he's predicting a January surge with a broad-based peak.
So Delta was kind of up and down real quick. This one looks more like it's going to go up and then stay up and last a little longer.
But the Whitley County Health Department reported yesterday 15 new COVID-19 cases, 125 total that are active. They say that about 41.9% of the entire county has been vaccinated. Laurel County reported more than 200 cases last week and has also had low vaccination rates.
Rather discouraging.
Dr. Worthy says a booster shot will be the big difference with the new variant.
But the booster really dramatically improves that. So it's somewhere 55–60% effective.
He says that's the message they are going to be doubling down on for their staff and their community. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Dr. Worthy says a year ago during Delta, they were seeing 70 patients at a time at the hospital. Now it's less than 15. First Lady Jill Biden is feeling better after testing positive for COVID on Monday. The White House says she continues to make progress and remains quarantined in South Carolina. She'll continue to isolate there until she has at least 2 negative COVID tests. Brazilian federal police sent a report to the country's Supreme Court yesterday accusing President Jair Bolsonaro of committing a crime of incitement by spreading misinformation on the COVID-19 pandemic. As part of an ongoing Supreme Court investigation of the president's role in the pandemic, police say there are indications Bolsonaro committed a crime in a social media live post broadcast in October. In the post, Bolsonaro claimed that people who have been vaccinated against COVID-19 have a higher risk of contracting AIDS. He also suggested that wearing masks helped spread the Spanish flu last century. New data shows drug overdoses in the U.S. are up significantly since the start of the pandemic. From March 2021 to March 2022, more than 109,000 people died from an overdose, according to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That is a 44% jump. It shows overdoses of synthetic opioids like fentanyl account for most of the deaths. The White House Office of National Drug Control Policy says overdose deaths have slowed down recently, thanks maybe to Narcan, an injectable medication that can reverse an opioid overdose. We'll have more on fentanyl deaths here in Kentucky coming up tonight at 11. But straight ahead here at 5:30, a new survey shows many Americans are seeing a jump in utility costs. Some expert advice on how to handle the hikes.
Plus, it's been a rather pleasant start to the week, but more rain is on the way as it comes to an end. The latest details on the best time for those showers coming up.